In sustainability engineering, we also considers what we call ESG, or economic, society and governance. And ESG means companies are judged not only by profit but by planet, by people, and also by governance. Okay, so big firms like Petronas, Intel, Gamuda have entire ESG departments. So this is, your future professional language. So when we talk about ESG, we talk about long-term resilience, and over, short-term cost. And there's ESG standards that we must follow, and also the transparency, the carbon reporting, and also fairness. That all of these are languages, for you um, uh, to be in the position that are higher than other competitors, because um, when you are actually doing your work by considering all of these standards, it is eventually will arrive to a point that the work that you do is actually sustainable in the future. Okay, so if when we look at, all of these um, um, issues that we have talked about, or um, even, the frameworks of ethics, the the trade-off will be always there. Okay, um, it's, either fast versus, basically, is it safe, or, it's cheap, but is it sustainable? Okay, and it's progress, versus, community rights. So ethics starts the moment you've given authority. You are in the position that makes decision. So this decision cannot be actually taught in a textbooks. Okay, because they are what you need to do inside meetings, vendor calls, and tender decisions, and a lot of things actually shaped your decision making. Okay, and we've talked about that, in a lot of um, what you call slides before. And of course, this refers to what are the ethical frameworks in your engineering decisions. Okay, and I've listed here um, multiple tools and methods to help you make ethical decisions. Okay, typically we will have what we call an LCA, which is the whole life footprint of your project. You will evaluate environmental impacts of a product, okay, from raw material extraction up until disposal, or what we call cradle to grave. Okay, from where you got it, okay, and until, how you're going to dispose it. So this will help engineers choose materials, processes, and designs with lower carbon footprint. Okay, and we also have what we call EIA or SIA. And EIA refers to economic impact analysis, and SIA is social impact analysis. Both of these are mandatory, okay, because for example, EIA will be mandatory study before major projects to evaluate effects on, like, air, water, biodiversity, and communities. And also it ensures public review so that people can actually see what you're going to do. And then the mitigation plans is something go wrong, and also project accountability to whom it will be addressed to. And then, in terms of SIA, you will assess impacts on people's lives, culture, livelihood, social systems, and also It is important for projects affecting settlements, things like ECRL, and also indigenous communities, things like Bakun, hydro park, and also land use. Okay, we also have carbon accounting, where you track emissions, and this is used for net zero planning and reporting in ESG strategies. Okay, and also circular design, okay, or in circular economy, okay, where you try to eliminate waste. And also the ISO 14001, where there's a structured process to continuously monitor, improve, and report environmental performance in operations. Okay, so when we have this ISO 14001, we have this audits that ensures consistent compliance and sustainability improvement. Okay, and of course, along with this is the risk assessment. This is what actually any businesses actually do, where it identify hazards, probabilities and consequences related to engineering activities in terms of, for example, environmental, social, and safety risks. Okay, and this supports ethical decisions whether we want to do it or not, in order to avoid harm and protect communities. Okay, and in terms of selecting suppliers, especially in life cycle assessment, we also have what we call a green procurement, in which we take a look at that based on environmental and ethical criteria and not just price. Okay, and this includes recyclable materials, energy efficient technology, and ethical sourcing. Okay, so the final message is that engineers don't just build systems, they build societies. So we protect the environment, support communities, and think long term. You know, one day you'll sign drawings, approve budgets and lead projects. When that day comes, ask yourself, am I building something my children will be proud of? Okay. Thank you for listening, and I hope you gain something from this. And I need you guys to go into You Learn and actually sit in a group and choose what kind of issues you want to discuss on, and write on a short summary or article on what you're going to do, okay, with that issues. Okay, till then, I'll see you in the next class.